Musician.
Dedicated.
Confident. Academics.
Passion.
Passion.
Passion. Noun. Any powerful or compelling emotion or feeling, as love or hate. Strong amorous feeling or desire, love, ardor.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Marianne Williamson. When I started running in 6th grade, I remember the first day we went out and we did 2 miles, and I thought that it was just the end of the world, and it was the hardest thing I'd ever done. And now I can go out on like a 12-mile run and not even be thinking about it 5 minutes after I'm done. So I mean, you just get that gradual progression. I think I've become much more self-motivated. Like, I don't need like somebody there telling me like, you have to go run 6 miles now. Like, I just know that that's what I have to do if I want to get better. So I just go do it.
Unlike a lot of other kids, you know, they start off kind of slow and then get better. He was pretty much strong from the start.
I don't believe Corey's passion for running has really changed over the last 4 years as much as it has intensified. He came into high school as a freshman as an avid runner. He enjoyed the sport, and he's extremely hard worker. And every year he seems to understand it a little bit more. He enjoys it a little bit more, and he understands what the sport is about.
My cross-country coach, Coach Emerson, and track coach, Coach Bangle, have really influenced me by just showing me like how to train and always believing in me. I also am motivated by like the elite American runners, like just watching them and seeing their accomplishments. It just makes me want to accomplish whatever I can.
He really seems to want to learn a lot about the sport, probably more so now than when he was a freshman. He really he reads about different training techniques, and I think the big part is he really wants to understand more about the sport other than just going out and running the miles that he has to run.
It takes a lot of discipline. You got to get up and do it day in and day out, and most people agree with me. It's running. Most people hate it. It's not something that people totally enjoy to do, but Corey does, and he's on consecutive days, which means he's run, I think, nearly a year without missing a day. Even was sick, and he went out and ran with us. So he's obviously got a strong discipline, unlike many other kids. Corey won't miss, so he's taken it kind of to the next level, and it's really unlike any other kid I've ever coached. A lot of kids are disciplined and hardworking, but he's much tougher than they are.
Corey right now runs somewhere between 60 and 70 miles a week. And when you put that into hours of training, he's probably running somewhere around 7 to 8 hours every single week. So that's about an hour every single day. And when you think about what he does with band on top of running, a lot of times he's up running early in the mornings, or he's running later at night. Sometimes it's even dark. He'll run really at any time necessary to get the training in that he needs, and that means during the summertime I've seen Corey run when it's been 95 plus degrees. It can be cold during the winter, it doesn't matter. He is extremely dedicated no matter what the time or the weather brings.
Corey is going to be as successful as anybody could possibly be, I would imagine, just based on his mentality. He feels like basically Corey wants to do everything he possibly can with the ability he's got. So if, he's not the best runner in the world, but he will do everything he can to achieve the best that his body will give him. So he's going to walk away as, knowing that he's done everything he could.
There are certain people that you meet in your life that you really, truly believe that they can probably do anything that they want. And Corey Stewart is one of the few people that I can say that I've been around that I look at and say, if Corey wants to do this, he can do it. He's very intelligent, he's incredibly hardworking, very passionate about what he does, and when you combine those three things, really the sky's the limit for what Corey wants to achieve in his life.
Passionate,
hard worker,
phenomenal,
intelligent.
We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle.
He's always been a good student, though. I mean, I had him when he was a sophomore, and now I have him as a senior, and definitely he's always been one of the top students.
He's always been dedicated from day one. I could tell he's very interested in doing the best he possibly could.
talking to other teachers, the only thing I heard about him was how great of a student, how great of a worker he was. So from what it sounds like, he hasn't changed much. He's always been a top-notch student.
Well, once you start getting into high school and taking AP courses and stuff, and then I kind of found out that there was a reason to do well in school and not just because everyone told you should. And so that's when I kind of started doing well, more well.
You know, Corey makes it look effortless by just coming and showing up and knowing everything, but I am very certain that he has disciplined himself. Like you said, there's a discipline that's involved to come to class every day, to know exactly what's going on, to prepare and study ahead of time. I had him as a freshman and sophomore for Spanish, so I'm sure as he got into his more upper level courses, AP and all that great stuff, he had a lot of preparation he would do for class, and I'm sure that takes a lot of discipline.
Well, I'm really bad at reading. I read really slowly. My English teacher last year told me that there was no way that I would be able to get through an AP test because I didn't read it fast enough. I've learned to balance everything out. Like, when you have so many things to do, you can only do one thing at a time, and you can only do so many things in the time you have.
There's lots of things he's really good at. There's lots of different aspects that he just really practices, whether it be music or academics, a lot of different subjects that he excels in. That's probably one of my favorite things about him, is that he likes improvement for the sake of improvement, so that he can really find the things that he really loves doing. So I really have confidence that he's going to be very successful.
I started wanting to actually understand what it is instead of just get through it. Like, and a lot of times, and even like a lot of teachers, like they'll just have you like want to get through it, when I actually want to understand what I'm doing, so that if I ever do use it one day, then I can.
I think one of the huge advantages that Corey has is that he knows how to learn. That he knows it's not just about memorization; it's about being able to apply that information. And with that, I mean, that's it will provide him so much success in college.
We had to be really goal-oriented, especially when you're involved in like sports and everything. You have to manage your time, but then you also, when you get home at 7 o'clock and you have to write this paper and study for this test and do this assignment, then you have to, instead of going to sleep, you have to know what you're going for and do it.
Corey's achievement as a student is he's been near perfect. He's been near perfect in calculus, and that's just amazing to do. What I think has made him special is the questions he asks in class were just outstanding. In math, so much you just build one upon the other, and topic, and a lot of Corey's questions seem to be that next question that was going to be covered in the next section. Those were the questions that he asked that I thought were pretty special. Getting
5s on the AP U.S. History and World History tests were pretty big for me. My academic all-states for cross country and track have been cool, especially cross country, because it's pretty elite list to be academic all-state cross country, so that was pretty cool. There are 365 kids in our class. Being valedictorian is pretty cool because there are a lot of smarter kids than me. You have to want to understand it. You have to, if you're studying something, you have to go into it, and yeah, you have to figure it out because there's a test over it or whatever, but you also have to want to figure it out and want to know it and want to do well and succeed. Whatever you are, be a good one. Abraham Lincoln. When I was in 6th grade, I went to the high school band concert, and I was like, oh, whoa, that's so cool. And then I went home that night, and I had my little bell kit, and I practiced Mary Had a Little Lamb in there for like 3 hours and drove my parents crazy. And then that's kind of when I was like, oh, this is really cool, and I really want to do this.
You know, my first year here was Corey's freshman year, and so I've seen him develop over the last 4 years as a musician and as a person. And I honestly have seen the same drive musically from him since the day I arrived, and it's neat to see that continue and grow.
I started out in 6th grade and he seemed to enjoy band and all of that, but as time went on, he's gotten more serious about it and started to really delve into the different aspects of percussion.
Well, I'm definitely planning on going into college for music and a career. I guess I'm looking forward to being able to play with people who are really good instead. Like right now, it seems like I'm learning from people who are really good. Eventually, I want to be at the point where I can play with them.
Well, especially when you're going to be a collegiate musician, if you're going to study music, either music performance, music education, it takes a whole nother level of dedication to your craft. A lot more practicing, private lessons, finding new opportunities to perform. Corey's done a great job with that, with performing with the All-State Orchestra this year and the All-State Percussion Marimba Ensembles the last couple of years. He's found ways to explore and really grow as a musician, and I think that is just absolutely key. Because when you get to college, there's nobody motivating you. You have to motivate yourself, and he does a really good job of that.
Kind of the same as in everything else, I guess. I become more self-driven. Like, I don't need somebody there telling me. It's like I just know what it is, so I do it.
The things that you guys do, I mean, I'm talking about the band in general, it takes so much time from you as a person, but as a family it takes that much more time, because you have to drive him to his until he started driving on his own. He was doing so well. The band always does so well. The winter percussion, it's just so fun to go watch anyway, so it takes a lot of time away from your personal life, but for that passion that he instills in it, and for the band members that instills in it, it's just it's fun for us to be a part of that and be able to go watch and enjoy it.
I won the IPA concert solo contest. To do something like that, it just takes a lot of time. I think it wasn't like I was just doing this all the time, but I had the piece that I ended up playing there. It was about 4.5 minutes, and I was probably a year and a half spent working on it.
Corey has had a really excellent career here at Whiteland, but I think over the last year he's participated in a number of different contests and different things that have challenged him to another level of literature. He performed with the Indiana Percussion Association's solo contest a couple of weeks ago and scored the highest score of the entire event, including collegiate members. He also made the All-State Orchestra this year, which was a different audition process he's ever had to go with. But I think he would even tell you this audition process for college has been the most challenging for him, and I think he's worked really, really hard.
Follow your passion and success will follow you. Arthur Budhold.
Just keep being himself. He enjoys life. He enjoys challenges, and he doesn't really need to change. Just keep doing what you're doing, find what you love to do, and pursue that in whatever facet in life that may bring.
Maybe relax a little bit. He gets a little uptight sometimes. Don't take everything so seriously, but for the most part, just keep doing what he's doing. Keep working hard. Keep making sure that second is not good enough, and that everything he does is for a reason. And just keep moving on, and he will do awesome.
I would suggest to Corey to make sure you pick a college that you think is going to help you with whatever field you choose. You've got a lot of talents, so keep your doors open, keep your options open, because if the first thing you try doesn't work out, there's something else that you're successful at, and to do that. But just if you continue with the work ethic that he has shown so far, he's going to be fine.
Don't let your strengths become your vices. Understand that you're valuable. You're a great person, not because you can do all these things or not because you're wildly successful in all these areas, that you're important as a person because you are who you are. It's to just really continue to enjoy those things instead of use those to kind of somehow prove to yourself or prove to other people that you're worth something.
Just keep on doing the same things he's doing now, and don't get distracted by all the temptations in college.
Corey, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job, and Go change the world, buddy.
You know, my advice to Corey is to just make sure that he is in a university situation where he learns a lot, he's relaxed, he has a good time, and he doesn't lose the passion for music. Sometimes when you get into college and you're working so hard, or really anything, you get into working so hard on it that sometimes you forget the joy that you find in it. And so I would always remind him to sit back and really enjoy the fact that, you know, he's making music and he's hopefully having a good time doing it. And just to experience everything he can in college, and it'll set him up really well for the rest of his life.
Just to keep working and keep enjoying what you're doing. If you don't enjoy it, then it's no longer worth doing.
Never underestimate the power of passion. Eve Sawyer.